Hey everyone, it is a new episode of Traffic Jam with Cam. And I feel like today's episode is going to be an exciting one. Not for any particular reason either, but just because I have a lot of things to talk about. And I guess most of the time that is the case because I have a podcast. But today I just have a lot of random thoughts and fun things that I've been thinking about and that are going on, and I just have to tell you guys everything. And actually the episode last week that came out, the very first episode of season 2 of Traffic Jam, I actually recorded maybe a month ago, and so it has been a long time. The last few weeks have just been so busy, and that was not expected. And so I've been writing down ideas and getting everything ready to go, and I wanted to have a few episodes recorded before I started the season. And I had that one episode recorded, and something was just holding me back, I guess. I think I was nervous and wanting to be more prepared or ready, I guess, to start the next season. And I had been writing episodes and thinking of different ideas, and I have 2 or 3 Google Docs, different ideas or episode scripts or people that I want to talk to or things that I want to say. And I was trying to build those up and get everything ready. And so I recorded one kind of practice episode to see how it was going, or see how it would go, and then kind of go from there. And then I just never recorded another one because I was I'm not ready yet. I don't know if it's the quality or the kind of stuff that I want to talk about, if that's ready. I don't know if any of this makes sense. Anyway, I was waiting till I felt totally prepared and ready to go. And then last week I just realized I am scared to start again. I just need to start. I don't know what I was scared of. I think I was just not sure if I was ready, but I don't know what I was waiting for. And so I just made myself do it and just publish another episode and see how it went. And I feel like I got some really good feedback, and it made me excited about what is coming up next. Also, I'm still getting used to recording again and stuff. Hopefully the microphone and everything is working okay. I was kind of rusty last week. I think I mentioned something like that, rusty last week, getting everything set up and making sure that the volume was okay and remembering how to work all the audio stuff and everything. It's actually really cool and really fun. I would not consider myself a super techie person, but learning how to do this editing and recording podcast stuff makes me feel really cool. So usually I sit at Adam's desk. So my husband Adam, he works from home right now, and he has a desk in our bedroom that's set up with all his work stuff, and then he has a little dresser, kind of side table on the side with his work stuff, and we have a drawer that has all the podcast things in it. So the cord that connects my microphone to the computer, the microphone, headphones to plug into the microphone stand, which I don't use all the time. I'm just holding the microphone right now. Anyway, things like that, getting all that set up, opening GarageBand. I just record episodes on GarageBand. So seriously, if anyone that is listening is that would be fun to start a podcast, just do it, because I had no idea how to do it. And I learned everything pretty much about doing it from Buzzsprout, and they have a YouTube channel. They made a series that kind of explained how to start a podcast, and it tells you step by step the equipment that you need and how to edit and where you can get your music and things like that. That's totally how I learned it. So not too bad. And now that I know how to do it, it's a little bit easier, and I just had to get back into the swing of things. So let's see. Today, I don't even know where I want to start, but I am recording on a Saturday night, and I am feeling energized. Maybe I always need to record on a Saturday night because I got a lot of thoughts and ideas, things I want to talk about. The ideas are flowing. Okay. I don't know if that has anything to do with me just eating some chocolate pudding, but yeah, that might have a little bit to do with it. I don't know why or when we thought about doing this, but I think in the last couple of times that we've gone grocery shopping, Adam and I both have a major sweet tooth, of course. We like after every meal like, should we go get ice cream or let's make cookies or, love treats, which is totally not a bad thing at all. We love treats. However, we have been getting pudding packets, which I feel like are such a childhood thing. Like I forgot about them until seeing them in the store one time, and I was like, oh, maybe we should try those out. And we did, and we got like some different flavors and stuff. And after dinner tonight, Adam pulled out like one of the chocolate pudding packets, and he was like, I'm gonna make some of this. And so he made it. And first of all, it's so easy. How nice is that? You just mix it with milk, I think he said. And so we had that and just some whipped cream on the top, and it was like a fun little dessert, which is like so random. Like we don't usually do that, but it was fun and it was good. So if anyone's wanting to try a new dessert, I don't know if anyone's maybe already, this is not a new discovery, obviously, but I think that's given me a little pep in my step for recording tonight. Well, for today's episode, we are going to be talking about being kind and taking yourself less seriously, as you can see by the title. But first, I got to give you guys a recap. Okay, there's so much that I need to recap you on because, like I said, my last episode I recorded a month ago, so I'll try my best to give you a speedy recap on what has happened in the last month. So right after I recorded that first episode, it was mine and Adam's 2-year wedding anniversary. And we went to Virginia Beach. So first of all, it was so weird to say that we were celebrating our 2-year anniversary because that seems like such a long time. Like I feel like we've been married for a long time, but also 2 years sounds like, well, like they're like married, like you're not just like newlyweds anymore. You've been like married like for 2 years. It's crazy. Anyway, we went to Virginia Beach. That's in southern Virginia. So it was like a 3-hour drive from where we live, close to DC. We stayed at an Airbnb there that was pretty close to the beach. On our way there, we actually went to Busch Gardens, and I love roller coasters, and bless Adam, he's such a good sport about it, and he was excited to go too. So we stopped at the Busch Gardens amusement park and went and rode on all the huge rides like one time, and then the new ride that they had there, we went twice. It's called Pantheon. It was really cool. Anyway, okay. I told you I was gonna be fast, so if you wanna, go watch it. I don't know if anyone else does this, but I love roller coasters so much that like I'll go watch on YouTube like videos of people being on the rides, like the point of view on the ride video of the roller coasters. So go look up Busch Gardens Pantheon roller coaster and it will feel like you're on the ride too. Okay. We went to Raising Cane's. We tried that chicken place that's like only in the South, I guess. Oh, it was amazing. It definitely lived up to the hype. That was really good. Because we did Busch Gardens on the way that first day, we went and got that Raising Cane's for dinner and then stopped at the beach for a little bit and then just like hung out at our Airbnb that night. And then the next day we went to a French bakery for breakfast. It was so fun. I had my first ever almond croissant. It was amazing. We went to a plant shop. We toured the USS Wisconsin Navy battleship. It was so cool. There also was a little aquarium, like a museum thing that was attached to that battleship. For the battleship, we actually got to go inside too. Like I thought we were just going to be able to walk on the deck of the big ship, but we actually got to go underneath and look at the rooms that the soldiers like stayed in, and the cafeteria, and like they had like a chapel and the meeting rooms, and it was insane. Very cool. Inside the museum of the battleship place that was like next to the battleship, they had a little aquarium, and we got to pet baby sharks. That was pretty cool. What else? We went to the Virginia Beach boardwalk later that day, and the next day we went to a couple other places, like a grilled cheese bistro place and a barbecue place. We got milkshakes like 2 days in a row. And yeah, the next day, our last day, we were only there for 3 days. It was like a quick weekend trip. But our last day was awesome because we like ordered these big breakfasts to go, and we took it to the ocean, and we just sat on the sand and we ate our breakfast and we swam a bunch. That was really cool. So awesome anniversary trip. That was about a month ago. And also my mom and dad came to visit, and that was pretty dang cool too. Both my parents obviously they live in Idaho, and they both had been to DC before they met each other. It was when they were younger, and so it was so cool to have them come and be there with us together and like show them around, show them our life. It was really awesome to have them see where we have been this whole time and what our life has been like here, because it is so different than life in Idaho and life just in the West in general. So we got to show them all kinds of touristy things. We ate lots of good food, took them to the National Mall. We went to the top of the Washington Monument, which is one of my favorite things to do, so I was excited to show them that. We went to the wharf, which I think I've talked about before. It's like the waterfront area where they have a lot of boats and seafood and other restaurants that don't have seafood. And just like walked around. There's music playing. You can go swing on these bench swings that are on the little mini pier there. So it was awesome. That was so good to have them and get to show them our place. One other thing I wanted to talk about before, well, I'm sure I'll actually think of more things. But another thing that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about that I have been really into lately is a YouTuber who is making a video series of crossing America with a penny. And I had heard of this guy before, but I had never watched his videos actually. And his name is Ryan Trahan, and he does a lot of like silly, dorky videos. But he's doing this video series right now of crossing America, starting with a penny. So he's trying to get from the West Coast to the East Coast. And the first day, he has 30 days to do it. And so he uploads a vlog or a video every day of him starting with a penny, I guess. So he starts on the first day with a penny, and it kind of builds from there. And then there are different incentives or things that people can do that interact with the video that can reset him to a penny. Say he's like on day 3 and he's earned up to $200. Later that night, someone could make like a donation and he would get reset to a penny again. So all like the money that he makes, or all the donations that are made throughout that 30 days that he's trying to cross America, starting with a penny, go to Feeding America. So that's really cool. Like, it's just awesome that he's doing it for this really great cause. And yeah, so every like subscriber and every, I don't know, something else, I can't remember all the rules, but anyway, like every subscriber that he gets is like 1 penny, which equals 1 meal for someone that like doesn't have a meal. So anyway, it's a really fun series to watch, and he's on day 24 or something right now, and every day he uploads a video, and it's just fun to like go and see where he's at. So if anyone would like to find something entertaining to watch on YouTube, you can go watch Ryan Trahan's series right now. And Adam and I have been really into that, and we have talked about like, oh, what do you think? Where do you think he's gonna go today? Or like, how is he gonna make money today? So anyway, that's fun. All right, I did write down 2 other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about before we get to today's topic, because it's been a while. Okay, I gotta fill you in. So the next thing is just that I've been trying to go on walks more. Just it's good, helps my head, helps me mentally, and also I feel like it's a good exercise. Like the weather is so awesome right now in Virginia, so it's been really nice to go outside and go on walks. And Adam and I have been trying to go for like an hour, like walk an hour every day. I definitely have not been good about doing it every day. He's been really good about it, but it's been a really good experience, and I definitely want to keep doing it. I feel like after the hour is done, I'm like definitely tired. Well, maybe like 30 minutes in, I'm like, okay, I'm getting kind of tired, and I did not realize that walking would just wear out so much if you're just like going hard. But all of that to say, yesterday, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. Anyway, we were on a walk after work. I had my headphones in, and I was listening to like the whole album of Mamma Mia, the Mamma Mia soundtrack. And I was getting tired, and the walk was wearing me out, and I was just enjoying listening to the music, just trying to push through to the end. And we were like 5 minutes away from home, and I was starting to slow down. I was like, oh, there are 5 minutes left. Like I can keep going. Let me just tell you also, there are a lot of hills in Virginia, but especially the area that we live in. I mean, you're going up and down, and like Adam always checks the elevation changes as we're walking. It's like 200 feet. I don't know if that's like a lot or a little, but it feels like a lot. Anyway, we're like 5 minutes away from home, and I was starting to slow down, and just when I needed it most, the last song came on, Super Trooper, and I can't even tell you how much energy that actually gave me. It was like I could just feel like a shift in my body, in my spirit, and I was like, oh, Super Trooper, all right, I can make it. And I just started just power walking. I got so much energy. It was just like, oh, I felt like refreshed, and that truly, it powered me through. So I really got to give it to Mamma Mia, the Mamma Mia soundtrack, Super Trooper. It really hit the spot, and just had to give it a little shout out. I thought you guys would enjoy that. Last thing, I am sure that I have mentioned before that I have been taking dance classes. There's an awesome ballet studio that is close to our apartment, and they are one of the few around this area that offer adult dance classes. A lot of dance studios will have classes up to age 18, and then that's it. And so there's a dance studio here that they offer classes for adults like 18 and up. So that was the best discovery ever. I've been taking the classes since January, and they're drop-in actually, which is really nice. So you don't have to like sign up for a whole season or be stuck to one class. You can kind of go whenever you want to. There's a set class schedule every week, and you can read through what classes they offer, pick which one you want, change it up, keep it the same one. So I usually go to the modern/contemporary class. That's like my style. But they also have ballet, musical theater, tap, I think that's all, maybe. Anyway, I love the contemporary class. It's awesome. I go maybe like every other Monday. I do the classes Monday night after work. And in that class, mostly everyone that goes, they go like every week. So it's been fun to get to know them, get to know the teacher. But the end of like this season of their dance studio ends at the end of June. And so on July 1st, I think. Yeah, July 1st, they are doing a performance. So like all the adult classes they'll get together at the studio and everyone can like watch each other's routine that they've been putting together. Because usually every week you'll do a warm up and then do some maybe like across the floors and learn just a little snippets of different routines. But this last month, every class that you go to, you're building on this contemporary routine to perform at the Friday night dance performance, I guess, so that everyone can kind of showcase what they've been learning and the skills that they've gained through that quarter, season, whatever. So that's coming up. My last class is this coming Monday night. I guess when this episode is live, it will be today. And then my performance coming up. So I'm really excited about that because I have not performed since high school. So I'm excited for that because that really was one of my very favorite things, if not my favorite thing about dancing, and especially being on the high school dance team, was the performances. Like, I love performing and being in front of an audience and showing the skills that I've learned. I just think that's so fun. And it's much easier and less scary with a team than doing a solo. Yeah. So I'm really excited and eager to see how that goes. It's like a whole new setup and kind of situation for me, than what I'm used to, because yeah, it'll be in like a studio setting. In high school dance, you're like performing in a gym and everyone's like up on bleachers. So anyway, I'll do another episode sometime about dance. I've been really wanting to talk about that. Yeah, but I will have to let you know how the performance goes. I am excited to tell you guys about that. Well, now that I've given you a huge, possibly way too long recap of what has been going on in my life, let me just top it off with a traffic jam of the week before we get into our topic. Okay. My traffic jam of the week this week is a tragic one because it happened in the workplace. I don't know how much of this how much I want to say. Anyway, last week I had not gone to the bathroom in quite a long time. Maybe it'd been a few days. So a friend said, "Hey, take some Miralax." And I did. And it worked too well. I was at work. I was at work and oh my gosh. Do I even say this? Oh, whatever. I don't care. I was holding in a lot of farts and I was with a patient and I was done with the patient. I walked out into the hall to go get the doctor and I couldn't even like hold it in anymore. And I was like walking through the hall and just a loud fart just came out and I did not realize how loud it was going to be. And I don't know if anybody heard, but I'm sure that they did because I work in a tiny office and I just felt so embarrassed, but like nobody was in the hall or like close to me. So I don't know. Somebody probably heard, but I hope they didn't. Anyway, I was super embarrassed either way because I was like, oh, why can't I even like hold in my own farts? But that is what I get for trying to hold them in, because I did take Miralax to try to help me. So anyway, whatever. Sorry if that was TMI, but that was definitely a traffic jam of the week for me. And it did end up helping later. Just took a long time. So, oh well. This episode is, I really actually am talking later in this episode about not taking yourself seriously. So I was going to talk about how I want to be better about not taking myself seriously. And here we go. Here's my first step here. Anyway, that's my traffic jam of the week. Yikes. Okay. To get to the actual episode topic that I want to talk about. I know this episode's kind of all over the place, but like I said, I just have a lot of things on my mind. So I just first wanted to talk really quick about being kind. I know that's like a general thing, but Adam and I were just talking earlier today about how we just don't see that as much anymore. And I don't know if it's where we live right now, if it's more the East Coast, if it's because it's a big city, if it's because this is a hard time in the world right now. I don't know. Probably a little bit of all of those things. But I just think that it's hard to see people being kind, like, unless you're looking for it. So, for example, the reason why Adam and I have loved watching Ryan Trahan's series with The Penny is because he is highlighting all of the wonderful things that people are doing, like all of the good that's happening. Like he will be selling water bottles for $2 and someone will come up and be like, hey, I heard about your cause. Let me give you a 20. And people are just very generous with their donations and with helping him towards this cause. And he really has highlighted a lot of just random acts of service or good things that people are doing. And that has been really, I guess, inspiring or like hopeful. It gives me hope to see that, because I'm like, okay, there are still people that are good and kind and willing to do nice things. Because I feel like since living here, especially in the DC area, I just don't see that. And it's really hard to be positive and look for the good things when there's a lot of negative around. And I feel like, I mean, I already said this, that this the area and kind of what goes on in the DC area can really bring a negative mood, I guess. Anyway, when Adam and I were talking about this earlier, it was just, we were at the mall because I had to go get, I had to go exchange something. And just walking around the mall, I was leaving the store. Well, when I went to the store to go make the exchange, the worker girl, I was trying to be friendly with her and talk to her, and she was not having it. She didn't want to chat. She didn't want to have a conversation. I was like, okay, whatever. And I was leaving, walking out. I passed someone on the elevator and I like made eye contact with them and I smiled at them, and they just were looking straight ahead and like did not want to like even turn to look at anyone. As I'm walking, I'm like walking through the stores, walking into the parking lot, and I feel like, I don't know, maybe like in Idaho it's just normal, or I just grew up doing that, or in the West when you walk around people like smile at you or make conversation with you, but that people definitely don't do that here. So it's just kind of like hard to see sometimes, and like just brings me down, because I'm like, oh, I just hate that when, you know, when I look at somebody when I'm walking down the sidewalk and I smile at them, that they don't even look at me, or they just look at me with like a straight face and just like an angry face, or they're, you know, too focused on what they're doing and too serious that they aren't like stopping to look around and like see what is going on around them. That's just a very common thing around here. My point in all of that is just to encourage you, I guess, to smile at people when you walk around. I know that's hard. Like, everyone has different difficult circumstances and situations that they're going through in their life, and it can be really hard to use extra energy to push that forward and give that to other people. But I feel like it's not only for the benefit of other people, like, it helps yourself. I feel like I can totally like testify to that just when you make an effort, even a small effort, like smiling at someone when you're walking down the sidewalk, or telling someone that you love their shoes, or tell someone that they have a great smile, or tipping someone an extra $5, or, whatever it is that you want, that you feel like just like going the extra mile is so worth it in the end. A lot of times, I mean, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you never get anything out of it, and that's fine. But I think in the long run, that's just a good habit to get into, and I want to be better about doing that too. Like, I'm not gonna let the fact that people don't smile at you or make conversation with you or are friendly here take me down, I guess, or like make me change, because it can be really easy to do that. Like, an example of this is driving, I guess. People will honk a lot. People are impatient when you're turning left, turning right. If you're not going fast enough, you get honked at. If you are not going fast enough or not turning fast enough, people will swerve into the other lane and then cut you off because they want to try to get in front of you, and then they'll slow down so that you slow down. Or people don't use their signals. People change lanes in the middle of intersections. The biggest thing is, like, people will stop in the middle of a lane of traffic and put their hazards on and go run inside to a store or to pick up some food. And then people just go around them. And I feel like all of those things are, like, maybe that's little and kind of dumb, but I feel like that's really inconsiderate to, like, the people that are driving. And I still, even though we've been here for over a year, I feel like I tend to take those things, like, really personally, or I let them really get to me. Like, I'm like, doesn't that person see how, like, they're inconveniencing everyone? Like, why don't they just take the extra 30 seconds to go around the corner and find a parking spot on the street instead of parking in the road where people are driving, and then everyone has to go into the one lane? So I just let things like that bother me a lot. And I have found myself a couple times, like, wanting to honk at someone or, like, getting mad at someone for doing that. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to let myself do what all of the other people are doing because they're angry here. Like, I can still be a patient driver and a kind person no matter what everyone else is doing. And so that can be really hard when driving, when in a traffic jam, and in the real world too, like interacting with people face to face or virtually. It's hard to keep being that light and being like that kind person in a world where a lot of evil or negative things are highlighted or like in our face so much. So anyway, that's what I want to talk about, being kind. But I just challenge you to think of something this week that you can do, something that you can go the extra mile on and help someone else, make someone else's day maybe, and that in turn will help you. The other thing I wanted to mention, or another kind of topic I guess that I wanted to shift to, has some overlap with being kind. It's just taking yourself less seriously, which I talked about. I think people here are not friendly or kind, but also they're very serious. And this area, just in particular, everyone is very work and career oriented. Everyone here is very educated and work oriented, I guess. So that really reflects on like how they act. And I think I'm lumping everyone together, but I should just say a lot of people in DC or in this area really just have their head down and their blinders on, and they have these goals that they're wanting to achieve, and that's like all they can see. And people are very just like straightforward looking, not stopping to smell the roses, like not enjoying life, maybe. I don't know. That's just my observation. Being an outside person, being a person that's from the West, and someone that's used to living in a place with like a slower lifestyle. That's just my observation of a lot of people that live here, which is just, I mean, that's just how it is. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's just a totally different mindset or kind of way of life, I guess. So the thing that made me first think about this topic or realize that I want to talk about this is because people don't jam out in their cars here. And I know that's like so funny and random, but I promise that is what prompted this topic. Is just that I love nothing more than like jamming hard to music in my car. And I found that I wasn't doing that like since living here, because I was just worried about people looking at me like through the window. And I feel like I never used to be worried about that living in Idaho or living when I was living in Utah for part of college. I didn't notice being worried about that. But here, living on the East Coast, I think I just was like embarrassed. I was like, no one else, like, you can never hear anyone like music playing in anyone's car, or you never see people like dancing in their car, like singing in their car. Like, I just don't see that. It's like everyone is on their phone or looking straight ahead, and they look mad, or they're busy honking at someone. And so I lately have been trying to really make an effort to purposely like sing and dance in my car, even if it looks stupid. It's probably not just this area. Like, I'm sure that's everywhere, maybe, that people just aren't jamming out in their cars. But I think that you should try it. It feels very good, I think. It helps if you're starting out here. It helps to put sunglasses on, because then people can't see your eyes and maybe they won't be able to tell who you are. They'll just be like, oh, that person's having a really good time. Yeah, you should try it. It's, I know that's a silly thing, but that has been something that I have also tried to do to have a good time and to like boost my mood. But also to just not be so serious, because life is meant to be enjoyed, and I'm starting to try to find that again and remember it. I mean, moving here, I was going through a really difficult and dark time. Like, I was struggling mentally more than I ever had before, and it was just very unfamiliar to me, and I felt like I was in this pit that I didn't really know how to get out of. I felt not like myself, and I felt like I just didn't know what I could do to feel happy like how I used to, or feel curious like how I used to, or be have a positive outlook on life, or be hopeful about situations, things like that. I was really struggling to find that. And so I talked about it last week too, but like with counseling and with talking to family and friends and people that have gone through similar situations, and then also just finding things like singing out loud in your car and not caring what people think, have really actually helped me a lot with my mental health, with my mood, with having a hopeful outlook on life. And so if you're struggling with that too, or if you're not, you should try it, because yeah, I just think the less serious we are about things, like the easier it is to like stop and look at the good that's going on and stop and notice the cute bunny that is running outside my window right now, or how nice the weather is outside, or wow, this song, the bass of this music is so awesome. Whatever it is, it's just, I would also challenge you to just think a little less seriously and notice kind of small, maybe silly things that you wouldn't have before, and just kind of savor and enjoy those. I've been trying to do that, and I feel like that's really helped me. So you could try it out. I'd be interested to hear what you think. So I extend that challenge to you, and I could just keep going, but I will save the rest for another episode. I appreciate you guys listening to the podcast and supporting me. I'll have new episodes on Mondays, and you can find me on Instagram at Traffic Jam Podcast. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great week. Bye.